As taxpayers, we entrust our government to buy the steel, the aluminium and the other materials to do that. If we are not going to impose tariffs on the Americans, why can't we at least defend Australian jobs by buying and insisting on a mandate that all Australian governments must buy Australian-made steel?
I think why we're not retaliating is because we don't have much leverage. We don't export a lot to the US. We don't have a lot that we can penalise the US for. And if we did, we'd just put up our cost structure and we'd make ourselves less competitive.
Well, our own consumers would be hit, right?
And we'd hit our own consumers. So it would hurt us. The Buy Australia thing can be, it's not a bad thing in itself. Some patriotism and encouraging Australians to get behind and just go into in the supermarket and whatever and buy things. But if you're buying something like steel, which costs more than the world market that you can get elsewhere, what we really need to be able to do now is not try to put penalties, is to retaliate. We need to get our cost structure down, become more competitive, become agile, and find other markets in the world by competing more strongly, as Australia did pretty well when China imposed, quite bigger so far, trade coercion against Australia during the pandemic. So a Buy Australia policy can end up being a bit protectionist, of which Australia learned a big lesson that protection just pushes up our costs, puts penalties on our efficient export markets. We need industries that can stand on their own two feet and export to the world.
OK, that's not what I think federal Labor's looking at a Buy Australia policy.
Well, you can buy Australia if you're a patriot, but you can also buy Australia if you want world-class steel. And we talk down the quality of our steel industry. But BlueScope Steel in the Illawarra does an amazing job of producing steel for renewable energy, but also for trains. And what we want to do as a new government, relatively new government here in New South Wales, is we are adopting a policy that says we are looking to buy steel from Australia. We're looking to buy aluminium with Australia. We equally are wanting to use our purchasing power to put Australia into global supply chains, yes, using train manufacturing. We are about to replace the fleet that people use to get to work and to get home. We do think this is a good opportunity, but we thought that before the tariffs were there. And we think that opportunity that the tariffs give us is to allow us also to make the point that is also a sound response to the policies that the Trump administration's put in place.
Now, Arthur, you're actually the Secretary of the South Coast Labor Council and the member of the Labor Party too. I think you represent workers at BlueScope Steel in Port Kembla, right?
Amongst others.
Yeah, yeah. And what are they saying? And they must be very concerned about the tariffs.
Well, look, in the last 25 years, we've heard the arguments with respect about cost. Let me just give you one fact that shows why that doesn't work with respect. The current spot price for steel in America is about $930. It's about the same here. Do you know what it is in China that we're competing with? $450. If we can't match $450 on a cost basis, we lose our steel industry. We either have a steel industry and look after not just our economy, but our national security, or we don't. America mandates, China mandates, the EU effectively mandates. They can't all be wrong. Why is Australia the only one that says, oh no, we can't do that, we've got to go on cost?